All right, welcome back to another episode of the Bird Podcast, presented by Meep Meep Nation. You heard that right, Meep Meep Nation. So before we get into everything, we have a very big announcement. We, as of today, are going to be a part of the Meep Meep Nation family. Justin, I don't know if when you were here, I think it was probably UTSA memes, if it was a thing back then. But so now we're basically partnering up, and they're going to be launching a website. I think it might have already been launched already. And you're going to be able to find our shows, our episodes, and then the blogs that me and Austin write.
Okay.
So that'll be all on there. You can find their merch. We're going to have some Bird Podcast related apparel on there pretty soon. And then even the Bad Birds are going to have some a little part of the website on there. I don't know, Joe, have you seen that?
Yeah, I think it's just like the merchandise stuff.
Yeah, so that's going to be very cool. Like I said, this is a very exciting thing for us. Austin, I know you're very excited. You look excited.
Yeah.
Your
we
camera's
didn't have a lot of people do all this stuff back when I was there. That's for sure.
Yeah, so we definitely are trying to make a change in that. But yeah, so make sure you go. You can find it at meetmeetnation.com. Check them out. There's an email list that you can sign up for. I know we're going to start doing some deals where you sign up, you can get like a certain percentage off your items that you buy or stuff like that, and you can keep up to date with whatever we post and all that jazz. But just to start, this is a very exciting episode. We have some special guests, and we're going to go around the room. Justin, this is going to bring you back to your college days, and we're going to do some icebreakers, or just a icebreaker. And you're going to say your name, you're going to say your favorite color, and one cool fact about yourself. So I'll start. My name is Joed. My favorite color is green. And the cool fact is I know Justin Anderson. Joe, you can go ahead and go.
Okay. Hi, my name is Joe. What were the options?
Your favorite color. And one cool fact.
Okay. So, hi, my name is Joe. My favorite color is navy blue. And my cool fact is I know a guy who knows Justin Anderson.
I'm nothing special, I promise.
Austin, you want to go?
Hi, my name is Austin. My favorite color is, I'll say orange. And then my fun fact is I know a guy who knows a guy who knows Justin Anderson.
Oh, my God. Palmer?
Oh, God. Okay. My name's Palmer. My favorite color is blue. And fun fact about myself, I know guys who have played with Justin Anderson.
Oh.
Dang. He won
up us.
I hate to one up you.
Oh.
All right. I'm Justin. Fun fact is my favorite color is also blue. And fun fact would be that I attended UTSA. A lot of people don't know about UTSA. I call it UTSA, and people still don't know what UTSA means either. So it is what it is.
I'm cool with people calling it UTSA. It's UTSA that bugs me.
I never heard UTSA. UTSA's new to me.
UTSA.
We grew up with UTSA.
Yeah.
Yeah, back with the UTSA men. Okay, so we'll get into some news real quick. There's not much, obviously. We have our coronavirus watch. It's still very much there. I've explained this before, but when we first started recording episodes, this is only our 6th episode or something. This is our 3rd episode of the quarantine series. But when we first started recording, coronavirus had just started, and it was a joke back then. And so we did this segment, and it was just coronavirus watch, and I would just be like, it's still there. And now we're here. So, yeah.
We're all stuck inside.
Yeah. So,
Joed caused it. It's all Joed's fault.
Yeah, this is my fault. I jinxed us. But we do have a couple things in terms of news. There's a student emergency fund. This was actually launched with Hurricane Harvey, I believe, and it was to help students that need help with certain financial things and stuff like that. So if you do need help, you can go to UTSA's website and just look up Student Emergency Fund, and it'll explain to you how you can go in there and request for whatever you need and stuff like that. Next thing is pass-fail. Now that everything's online for classes, UTSA has announced that they're going to be implementing pass-fail. It's going to be up to your professors in your courses to see which courses actually are going to be approved to do that. What do we think about that, guys? I know besides Justin, this is probably something that affects all of us.
Pass fail would have been dope.
It is. I'm very excited.
So
I am
one
so
thing,
excited.
Yeah, I figured out that because I was like, what the heck is pass fail? They're calling it credit / non-credit. But basically so your professor and the course that you have they decide whether or not it qualifies for it. And so if your course qualifies for it, which I feel bad for the ones who it doesn't, but if it does, you then get the choice to go in and say, yes, I want to do the pass fail thing, or I don't want to do it. So let's say like you have a perfect grade in it, you probably wouldn't want to do the pass fail because it doesn't show up on your GPA. But if you're doing horrible in the class, like I may or may not be in a couple of mine, you can get credit just as long as you pass. So anything higher than an F, you pass and you get credit for it, which is very nice, I have to say.
You get credit for taking the course and like passing the course, but it doesn't go on your GPA. If you
exactly.
take that option. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So this is definitely for the people who are struggling. And like I said, if you're not struggling, you still have the option to not do that and keep your grade. But this is something, like I said, I will personally probably be benefiting from. I don't know about Austin and Joe. I think, Austin, you're saying your Spanish class is kind of...
Yeah, there's really only one class that I need it for. The other ones, like, I was doing well enough in already before this that I'm fine, but yeah.
Show off.
But
Yeah.
they're slowly like trickling in, like saying, "Oh, we're doing pass fail." Like, I don't know if you just saw, like, Blackboard just gave a notification. Joed, for our technical writing professor, just announced it that she's doing it, and it's like, come on, my Spanish professor, please.
I'm pretty sure she said it today in class, Austin. No.
He's like, I didn't go.
Did you skip Spanish class?
It was at 9
It's
a.m.
online. You don't
Austin,
even
you
have to
have
go.
no excuse to skip Spanish class. You just put it on. You just turn it on. I was washing dishes in Spanish class.
I went to sleep at 5:30 last night.
Just put it on.
But yeah, so pass fail is now a thing. Thank God for most people. I guess, Austin, you now have it for your Spanish class, which is nice. Maybe you wouldn't have been stressing if you had gone to class. Which is like, I can't say anything because none of my classes are online, so if they were online, I probably wouldn't have gone either. But next thing is refunds. So UTSA announced that they're going to be refunding or prorating certain fees and things that we've paid as students. So that's going to be your parking permit, your housing, and your meal plans. So they're going to do they're going to prorate that. So basically, with rent for housing, like obviously you're not going to be there for half the semester, so they'll give you money back for that. Your permit, they'll be refunding that.
Is it refunds or just money for next semester?
I'm pretty sure it's refunds. The word they've been using is refunds. So
like, do you know if it comes to you or if it goes to your student account?
I don't know, actually. I would imagine
like
just graduating.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be set up the same way, like when if you get a refund from financial aid or whatever. If you set up like a direct deposit through school, or like if not, they just give you a check. I'm pretty sure it's going to be that way.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's something that's definitely nice. I've seen on Twitter a lot of people are angry about it. Not that they're getting prorated for that stuff, but like they're not getting prorated for their rec fees and for other things that we're not going to be able to use right now, which is understandable. But at the same time, I don't know if you saw, like, Greg Abbott tweeted like UTSA, good job on them, whatever. But if you look at the comments, like, it kind of puts it in perspective that other universities aren't doing this right now, which is
They aren't doing anything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're not giving him anything. So it's definitely, it helps put things in perspective if you're kind of like upset that you're not getting everything, refunded. But yeah, I don't know. I'm of the boat that's like, I'll take what I can get at this point. Like I wasn't planning on getting anything back. So, but I don't know. I think, Joe, you've kind of been a little vocal about it. I don't know what you feel about the people on Twitter that are angry.
I mean, UTSA students are going to be UTSA students, like they're going to be mad on Twitter pretty much no matter what. So like, I think generally, I'm not 100% in the camp of like be grateful we're getting anything,
Yeah.
but at the same, like, could they be doing better? Like absolutely, like they could be giving us more.
Mhm.
Like, and I they do deserve to be like criticized and held to a standard that like we want our money back, but at the same time, like at least they're doing something, you know.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
35% of the work is better than 0% of the work, you know.
That's very true. Justin, was UTSA Twitter like this when you were here, and was it even a thing?
I would probably say it really wasn't really a thing. No, I mean, because it was still kind of newish. I say newish, but like it didn't really blow up till like I was a senior in high school, and then a little bit as I got into school and college and whatnot. But it wasn't as big as it is now. That's for sure. I mean, I wouldn't just log on and be like, let's go see what the university's doing, whatever. I never really paid attention to that. I just kind of did what we all normally do, did our own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see what goes on with and when I say UTSA Twitter, I just mean anybody that's a part of the university, like even alumni stuff. Do you ever log on Twitter now and see the stuff that's going on? And you're like, oh my gosh.
I see the athletic stuff that's going on. Yeah, like I see mainly just all of that. I don't really look a ton at the other things that are going on at like the university. Like I don't just type in on like my search bar and type UTSA, see what's going on, see what kind of mess they're getting into today or whatever. Because I mean, I've seen some of the tweets every now and then. You'll see one, and it's like, oh yeah, I remember that was still happening, or this still goes on and whatnot. But other than that, the only ones that I mainly keep up with are all the athletic ones.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, I think that's gonna be it for news. Let's get into events that's coming up. Nothing. There's no events. Everything. Stay home. Don't go out. If you need to go.
Broadway's gonna be closed till June 6th. It said.
What is?
Like
Broadway.
Broadway?
Like San Antonio Broadway or New York Broadway?
No, like Broadway, like New York Broadway.
Oh, at this point, it's gonna be even more than that.
Yeah. Yeah. No. So we do an event segment and we talk about what's coming up this weekend or during the week that you can go do in San Antonio, especially for people who might not be from here, like they don't know what to do. But there's just nothing. Just stay home. If you need to go out, go buy what you need from the store, get your food, and come back. That way, because I don't know about y'all, but I want football season to happen, and I want the whole fall to happen. So if y'all could just stay home, that would be very helpful.
Hey, I'm all for it. I'm all for the Masters in the fall. I don't know why. I just like the idea.
And Fiesta in the fall. That's gonna be so weird.
Weird.
So I guess we're talking about that for Joe. How's that going, Joe? Because one, Fiesta is supposed to be starting up like right now. Your birthday is also during Fiesta, and I know you're super excited about having your 21st this year and going to Fiesta and doing all that. So how's that going?
I mean, I'm not excited.
I love it.
I don't know, like I was. I mean, like it's gonna be as good as it can get, you know.
Yeah.
My parents and I are gonna hang up my house. What are you doing? I think my dad might make a brisket. I don't know, like
Nice.
this. I mean, there's not much we can do, you know. Like
Yeah.
just,
That's definitely a bummer.
well,
That is
nothing, you
shitty.
know. I think I might skip class that day. Like I don't know, but like it'd also be stupid too because I could just put it on, you know, like.
Yeah. I was messaging Joe last night and we were talking about like because we're already planning for when this is over, what are we gonna do? And because he's having his 21st and he can't really do anything right now, so it's like, okay, well, where are we gonna go to? Like, what bars do you want to go to and stuff like that. So hopefully we can have a good time once this is all done.
Eventually.
Mhm.
Everybody's invited. We'll go down to St. Mary's Strip. So let's go ahead and get into some questions. It's going to be for both Palmer and Justin, who are both going to be guests on the show for this episode, obviously. So for Justin, your Twitter profile, in the bio, it says that you're a part-time Chick-fil-A connoisseur. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah. So basically, it kind of started my freshman year. There was a group of us, and we kind of call them our chick meetings or our chick group meetings. And we would have dinner at Chick-fil-A at 6, usually at 6:30 on Mondays or whatever. Or we would just go during the middle of the day right before we had practice. Or so we're probably eating Chick-fil-A anywhere from 3 to 4 times a week. And it kind of just kept growing on me. It's nonstop, and it's still nonstop now. Like we just got breakfast there the other day. I'll probably get lunch there maybe later this week, over the weekend or whatnot. But I mean, that place is my spot. And it's always better when you go inside. You go inside, you get the best of the best, no matter what it is. And especially in San Antonio, because in San Antonio we went so much. And if y'all didn't know this, but back then on the receipts it said a free Chick-fil-A sandwich. Go to the website, fill out whatever. Well, you learn to rig the system, and then we just started writing the numbers, and then the ladies behind the register picked up on that. Her name was Carmen. God bless her heart. She's the sweetest lady ever. And she would start giving us these receipts. So we'd be going there and eating for $4 or $5, and we have 2 sandwiches, of fries, and a drink, and then the rest of it was history. It's pretty sick.
Nice. Was that the Chick-fil-A on campus, or is it off?
Days of Allah chick with our lady Carmen and our man. I think his first name was Darren. But neither one of them work there now. What's that?
The one next to HEB.
Yeah. HEB and Specs, I think, is right there.
Was Chick-fil-A on campus when you were there?
Yeah, I'd go there randomly.
Were you there when Taco Bell was there, or Taco Cabana?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, that was.
You were at
that was a good lunch spot.
Why did they take away Taco Cabana?
Spot. So you go grab some queso before practice. That was crack.
Damn it! Yeah, I don't get why they took away Taco Cabana. And what was the other one? Wendy's or?
I don't think we had a Wendy's.
It wasn't Wendy's. It was whatever.
We had Burger King. It was Burger King and Taco Cabana were in there.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So what's there now?
We have a crappy pizza place where I guess the Burger King was, and then we have international kitchen thing that it's basically
fancy.
It's basically it's
not.
It's basically the food that's at the Rotor Cafe, but spruced up.
Yeah, it's just plated better.
The calf was legit. Calf, you had whatever you wanted on those.
Yeah.
True. Now Airmark's gone, so we're gonna hopefully get some other stuff. So for the Chick-fil-A thing, it says you're part-time. Are you planning on going full-time with that, or?
No, I'll always be part-time.
Okay.
Always be part-time with that one.
All right.
Yeah, going full-time takes the love of the game out, you know.
So what's your favorite? What's your thing that you order?
It's my go-to is usually a number 1 with a large sweet tea. I would say, but that's probably 9 out of 10 times. And then every now and then I got to venture off and I got to get a spicy sandwich, of course. Throw some Chick-fil-A sauce in on that.
You know what I haven't had in forever that I didn't realize I wanted until right now?
What?
Chick-fil-A lemonade. I haven't had Chick-fil-A lemonade in 3 months.
I couldn't even tell you what that tastes like.
3 months. Huh?
I couldn't even tell you what that tastes like. Only a sweet tea.
It's super bitter. I usually say anyways.
It's
super bitter and tart. And I used to hate it, but then me and Austin went every day for a year. And now it's the only lemonade that I think is good.
We go for breakfast and we didn't want soda for breakfast.
So we
got lemonade instead.
I just get water.
No,
this was
it was
2 weeks
bad
ago.
lemonade, and drinking bad lemonade united me and Austin.
That's funny.
Do you have the menu memorized?
Absolutely not. But if we're talking breakfast, I'll probably get. On breakfast, I'm getting. I think it's the number 2 that are the biscuits. Or no, the chicken minis. You get number 2 the chicken minis with their hash browns and their Chick-fil-A sauce, and that's crack.
The best
I will
thing
say
is,
though, their coffee isn't that great. I won't lie.
I haven't had it.
The coffee is not the best coffee.
The best thing is in the morning before class. I'm tired and I just go in. The Chick-fil-A line's not that long. And you go in there, you get your chicken minis and your little hash brown things.
Yeah, those circles.
It's the best right before class.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're from Houston, right?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I'll speak for myself, not for y'all, but I didn't like Houston, and that was just purely based off of being from San Antonio. But we went to Houston for the men's basketball team was playing a tournament down there. We went for that, and Houston's great.
That's the best.
I hated to admit it, but it's definitely a nice city.
4th largest in the nation. Don't
Yeah,
it's
forget
big. I mean, it's big. You got that going, I guess.
It's definitely better than Dallas.
Absolutely.
I hate
I
Dallas.
love Houston over Dallas. That's just me, though.
So obviously growing up in Houston, are you a Rockets fan and a Texans fan?
Yeah, I'm not really. It's hard to be a Texans fan right now, but I mean, I'm still a Rockets fan.
Yeah.
I can't even be a Texans fan.
Yeah, that's those guys are more.
I think I'm a fan of the NFL next year. Just that's it. I'm just gonna watch good football.
Get
The
your
NFL hat.
Just gonna watch
Yeah.
football. Like
I should get. Who wore that? What was it? Rob Lowe. I get
Yeah.
Rob Lowe. Just standard NFL edition hat.
I have one of those. I don't know where it is, but I definitely have one.
Did you buy that, Joe?
Yeah, it's my
So
Super
you
Bowl
paid
Sunday
for-
hat.
You just paid for an NFL hat.
It's my Super Bowl
Because the
Sunday hat.
Cowboys never get to the Super Bowl, so we have to wait something.
So what are your thoughts on the DeAndre Hopkins trade?
Negative. Very. I mean, it happened when it happened. Me and my buddies were texting, and we were like, "Man, this is awesome." David Johnson, he's older, but it'll be all right.
Yeah.
But then we're like, "Who did we give up?" And then we found out who we gave up, and then that's when all hell broke loose. Shit hit the fan real quick after we found that out.
Yeah, well, because you gave up Jadeveon Clowney and DeAndre Hopkins, and you didn't get a first-round pick for either.
We're talking. Oh God.
I told you I had one.
Yeah, but they did that move, and now I'm just sad. And every time I bring it back up to my friends or remember it, I just get real sad and try to forget, and I can't forget.
Just remember you have Deshaun Watson for like another year or two. You can take solace in that fact.
Enjoy that.
And y'all finally have like a decent running back. I feel like Houston's always struggled in the running back stable.
Yeah, since the Foster days are gone.
Aaron
Foster was like a gazelle running out there. That was fun to watch.
Then he tore
Since
ACL.
then, it's been kind of off. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully David Johnson can turn that around. And then I mean, like you got what's his name?
No,
We got
not
Duke Johnson. Duke Johnson's back there too.
Yeah, you got him, and then like at wide receiver, you have Will Fuller, who's great still.
He is great, and then Randall Cobb. I don't know what they're gonna do with that.
I love Randall Cobb. You paid too much for him, but like as a Cowboy fan, he was fantastic last year. He was probably one of like the best we made last year, in my opinion.
He was definitely he's a solid number 3. He's not a number 1.
He is a good slot.
Yeah, for sure. You
He'll be a
paid
good
like
slot
number
receiver
2
for
money
Deshaun.
for him.
Yeah. Palmer, what are your sports teams?
I really don't have any.
He's like UTSA.
Yeah,
It's
I-
funny because a lot of the athletes we interview say the same thing. Like a lot of the college athletes.
I don't know why. I never really latched onto a team. I'm from Dallas, so I watched the Rangers when I grew up, and that was about
Oh,
it.
that's awkward.
I don't. I'm not into the city rivalries.
He's like, the only city I hate is Denton. They don't even have a baseball team like that.
I know. Doesn't even have a baseball team, or UNT doesn't have a baseball team.
Yeah.
So, fun fact, I guess, is we made.
No, don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it.
Why not? It's funny.
All right, fine.
So Joe and another one of our friends made a Twitter account for UNT baseball, and they started following like the UNT accounts and stuff like that, and like they've gotten like a verified official UNT accounts to follow them back. You can see, yeah, there it is.
That's hilarious, and they just fell for it.
Yeah,
Yeah, the College of Music follows us.
Pretty bad.
Also, you know who else follows us?
Who?
Old Dominion Baseball. The official Old Dominion Baseball account follows us.
So yeah, we're keeping that in the back pocket in case we ever need to have a little fun with that.
That's some ammo.
That's like the perfect thing right now to like, because of everything that's going on, UNT fans are probably not the happiest, and like give them some sense of hope, and they just like take it away. So obviously this is showing the inner bad.
I should start following recruits.
You what? Yes.
I should start following recruits.
But anyway, you're starting to see the inner bad birds in us come out. So our first, I guess, interaction with you was we played UIW? Was that what it was?
Oh, are you talking about when old buddy got upset?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that was ridiculous.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask you. So, what are your thoughts on one, like the whole, I guess, bad birds and what we do and stuff like that? And Palmer, you can talk about this too. And then with what people are saying about how baseball shouldn't be that way or whatever.
It's different in a college atmosphere. I'll say that, but it's for sure awesome that y'all are there doing that. I mean, we didn't have that. We had as many people come out as we could all the time, but we didn't have like a group of, I guess, students that would come out all the time like that and like get on the other team and whatnot like that. I mean, there were plenty of times we go places. We didn't get tore up or anything, but I mean, Southern Miss, they would get on you a little bit.
Yeah, those guys are
SFA would get on us a little bit, but SFA was cool about it. And then who else would get kind of crazy? I mean, obviously A&M. But I mean, those two are the ones that stick out to me the most. Other than that, I mean, I don't think it's a big deal. But I think it's great that UTSA's finally got a group of people who are wanting to do that and try and bring in as many people as you can to get on the other team. I mean, obviously, there's lines and limits. Don't get me wrong, but it hits the fan pretty quick sometimes, and that dude got a little hot for nothing.
Well, that's probably like the better of reactions we've gotten. So usually people are very like. They're pretty decent about it. Like they're like, we hate that you're rooting against us, but we like that you do it in a classy way and it's fun and stuff. Right. But then you get the people that just get pissed off, and then you get the people who threaten us. Like this season barely started. I think it was like 2 weeks in, and we already had to fill out like 2 police reports.
2 threats.
And yeah, it was
2 threats against our lives.
Yeah, we had 2 threats.
Honestly, I hate to say it, but this season being canceled might have been good for us. Because, like
talking about mamas and stuff,
might have been good for us.
Well, and the thing was, like, we weren't doing anything different. There was no we have our own like kind of rules where we just don't go past certain lines, and we make fun of the color of your bat and stuff like that.
I honestly think the biggest difference between this year and last year it was me, Austin, and Connor, and maybe Noel, and maybe Shelby, and maybe Steph. You know what I mean? Like, it was like 3 or 4 people. This year, we're rolling like 7 or 8 deep, so we're like twice as loud. And I think, honestly, that has a big part of it.
I think the bigger following, hopefully it'll all continue to trickle once everything falls back into place. That would be dope for the university.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a blast. We all love to do it. People who were hesitant, like, there was a couple people who at the beginning of the season, like this year, were kind of hesitant on it. They're like, I don't really like baseball that much. Like I don't like it's like not my sport, blah, 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 blah. And they came out to like 3 or 4 games, and before they knew it, like they were like in like the rest of us. And a couple days ago, like one of our friends texted us, and he was like, well, it looks like baseball season, like college ball is washed for the season. So like I'm gonna say this much, like I had a blast my first year. Like 3 or 4 people like came in and like fell in love with the way we do things. So that's a plus.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, it's definitely a great time, and it's one of those things where we try to talk to UTSA students, because I think the support of athletics isn't where we'd like it to be, and I don't know how that was back when you were here, but we try to like tell people that like even if you don't like baseball, basketball, whatever it is, like you're gonna have a good time if you show up with some friends, if you join Rowdy Crew or Bad Birds, whatever, and just like have fun that way. Like you're gonna end up having a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know when you play there, our field, Palmer, I can tell you the field's still shitty. It's the best of what we got, and we just deal with it. It honestly is. Yeah. And when you get fans like that, it definitely makes it better. 100%.
Oh, yeah. No, it made like a huge difference. Like it's been crazy because like even like especially with the whole UIW thing, I'm not allowed to get involved because I'm a current player, so I can't go saying stuff on Twitter. But next year, or I guess after next year, I got y'all. But yeah, it was just insane because they're like, we can't believe that y'all would be kissing up to them like that. Like, you know, that y'all think the players like care. And we're like, they're literally a part of the team. Like people, it's just crazy when people get on it, and it's so obvious immediately that they don't understand like how it works, you know? Like they were saying the players probably even think it's annoying. Like, I don't know how they put up with it every game. It's literally like having an extension of the team in the stands. I mean, and y'all get to hang out and talk to players that we have in the stands anyway. Like there's tons of communication. It's really like it's fun and it brings energy. And I'll never forget the first time y'all came to a game, or maybe it was the second time, but we just got crushed. We got absolutely murdered. It was like freezing cold. And I remember
those days.
Just absolutely railing us for having no energy. And he's like, thank God for those guys in the stands that brought energy because y'all had none today and we need more of that. I hope they come out for the rest of the year. And y'all did. And y'all probably didn't even know that. But yeah, like it makes a world of difference. It's like the coolest experience you can have as an athlete is to have people behind you. And having that at a place like UTSA where you wouldn't expect it makes it just like that much more special.
Yeah, I 100% would agree with that.
Thanks.
Joe's about to tear up over here.
I know. It's like... so Justin, quick question for you: how much do you hate Dodgers fans?
I don't really hate them. They come to our place, and I will say sometimes, like when they come to our place, like it does get extra loud, no doubt. When they come all the time, it'll get extra loud just because it turns into a thing for the fans, so the fans want to be louder than each other next to them. So I mean, that makes it more fun for us too, no doubt.
Yeah, I was really just kidding. My cousin's a Dodger fan. He lives in Los Angeles.
Oh,
yeah.
So one thing I'm curious about is the whole Astros and everything that happened there, right? Is like the hate that we see on ESPN and stuff like that from other teams, is that an actual like genuine hate for the Astros, or is it just kind of like fun at this point to dog on them?
No, dudes are pissed.
Okay.
Yeah, no, dude. I mean, people are pissed off about the whole situation. I mean, obviously now it's going to kind of get. I would assume it's going to get brushed under the rug just because. I mean, we're taking. What is it? Almost. It's going to be 3 months, maybe 4 months before we're playing again. People are going to literally forget about all that stuff that happened, and we're going to get back into this like mini spring training that we're going to have to run, and it's going to be. What'd you do? Did you do this? How'd you do this? Where'd you go? Did you just go home too? It's gonna be like little boring shit like that. So it won't be the same stuff that it's been like in spring when we first got here for sure.
Yeah.
Honestly, the thing I'm looking forward to the least about sports coming back is that like every broadcast, all we're gonna talk about is well, sports put on a 3-month delay and all the camps got pushed back and blah 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 blah. We're gonna hear that until like 3 seasons from now. Like it's all we're gonna talk about forever, and I'm not looking forward to it.
There's gonna be a 30 for 30.
There's absolutely gonna be a 30 for 30.
Stephen A. and Skip are gonna be having a blast with all that when it comes back.
Yeah. Another question, and this is something I'm just curious about. I don't know how this works. With the whole like cheating thing, is that something that happens more often than most people think in the baseball world? Maybe not to that extent. And like people just don't usually get caught with it and stuff like that, or is it something that's just actually like that bad as we're seeing?
I mean that's pretty bad. I mean, like y'all have seen it in Reddit by now. I mean, there was they saw like Cameron Center getting live feed, and then they're writing down sequences, going through algorithms and stuff, and then when the series comes back again, they play those guys again. They have it, and when you have it, when a hitter knows what's coming, it's just. I can't even tell you how many points it raises in their batting average for slugging probably, but some nerd probably has it written down where it's just ridiculous. I mean, it's just like when hitters getting those 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 2-1 counts, it's already in their favor, and now you're telling them what's coming. It's even more higher than that. That's great. I mean, when you think of it like that, and like I don't know also what the Red Sox were doing. People were saying they were going up. And then someone was giving them the sequence and then go out, try to get to second base or whatever. I don't know. I still don't. I mean, that's what the reports and everything were saying. I never heard of guys doing that or other guys from other teams saying they predicted that or even saw that. So, I mean, as far as all that goes, I still don't even know about that.
Yeah, it's definitely a crazy situation with all that. So I guess back to some UTSA stuff. Coming out of high school for both, you and Palmer, why UTSA? Like, why was UTSA, and how did UTSA end up being the landing spot for y'all?
I'll let Palmer go first with that one.
Oh, okay. So I went to junior college first, and coming out of there, I'd seen a lot of guys kind of end their careers because of the coaches there. I liked our coaches we had in junior college, but some guys didn't. And so I decided that the main thing I wanted to focus on coming out of that spot in my life was finding coaches that I liked. and finding a program where I knew that I'd feel at home and comfortable and just kind of enjoy my career. And so that was kind of the big selling point for UTSA is, there's a sense of community. Our coaching staff back then was really close, and luckily the new staff we got is the same way. But really the appeal to me was knowing I would feel like I'd belong there and being able to play the game the way the game's meant to be played, not having it ruined by someone else.
See, I went through a coaching change too. See, because when I was coming out of high school, I had Corbett, Lawler, and Marshall, and then I liked Corbett, Marshall, and Lawler, and then it was either go there or go somewhere else or go to JUCO. Now, sometimes I wish I would have gone JUCO. When I look back, I was like, if I went JUCO, maybe this could have been different. I could have done that, but it is what it is. And I went to UTSA because that was the second only offer that I had, and I was like, this place is better than the other offer I had. I'm definitely going to go here. So I took the offer, went there. Enjoyed playing for Corbett. It was a little bit different style. Like you played for Marsh, so you know how it was. And playing for Marshall was one of the most fun I ever had.
Yeah,
that whole crew with him, Lawler, and we also had Coach Z. I don't think you knew Zaleski, and then Blair, obviously.
Well, Zaleski's like the head coach at
McNeese now, right?
Yeah, so we see him like every year.
Okay, but playing for those last 2 years of sophomore, junior, those dudes were so much fun to be around. They made it fun for us. They put us through some hell. Like in the fall, I remember my sophomore year fall was a joke. Junior year fall was a joke. But I think it all paid its dividends and later on in the season for us, and it still pays dividends for me right now during this time. Absolutely, those guys were really good people.
Yeah, Coach Marshall was really cool in the beginning of the whole Bad Birds thing. He honestly has like a huge part to play in like what we are as a fan group. Like without him,
he lays it out. He wore his heart on his sleeve. Palmer can tell you too that he really wore his heart on his sleeve, and he wore the university on his sleeve. Absolutely, that dude loves UTSA. I can tell you, he probably didn't want to leave, but yeah, obviously, he wants to be with his family more often now, and can't be upset at a guy for wanting to do that. But
yeah, for sure. Like it was like it was shocking. We were kind of sad, but at the same time, it was like I totally get it. Like as fans, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he loved the fans too. He would tell us all the time how much fun he enjoyed the atmosphere and wanting to fill it up. He wanted to fill that place up as much as he could every weekend, every game.
Yeah, and he has a big part of like why we are what we are.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
How was fandom back then for y'all in terms of how many people you had in the stands? And then I know y'all were pretty successful. Y'all had the WAC championship while y'all were winning. What was that like with having, or how was it like with having people there? Were there a lot? How was the support?
Sometimes there was a lot, and sometimes there wasn't. Obviously the biggest ones were Texas State Tuesday, which turned into like midweek Tuesdays because of the conference changes that we all did and whatnot. And then on the weekends, the Texas State crowds would get a little bit bigger. But other than that, I would say like opening weekend was usually the biggest. And then, the Texas State, those are probably the two main weekends that people actually would come out all the time. Or like every now and then my junior year, we'd have a couple of really good stretches. Then we'd draw a little bit more people, and then it would just go right back off. So it was super consistent. We had a lot of the football guys would come out in sports every now and then. We were pretty close to some of those guys, and I think I've still talked to a few of them today. So they're also doing good and whatnot. But how's that?
Nice, Palmer. I know.
Cut my arm off for a conference championship. I would cut my left arm off for a conference championship. like that, I would lose my mind.
Well, and I think that was like such a bummer. And Palmer, you can talk about this for your part. With this season being cut off, is because like there was so much promise going into this season and what we were doing, what y'all were doing.
Yeah, it was just really unfortunate. The timing was unfortunate. It was also not like a good stretch to end the season on.
It was not a good stretch to end the season on.
We had a rough weekend at UT Arlington. I know y'all didn't get to go to that, but their team was just crazy for what you would expect up there. They had 3 pitchers that were 95 to 97. Their lineup was their offensive lineup was pretty strong too. And we held them to a really close game on Sunday, and I think one more supposed to, but it was just And then the Texas State game was just gross. But
yeah,
but we had a good team. A lot of and thankfully, like we've got a lot of those guys back. Like, so that's a really good positive. But either way, it's just not going to be the same. Next year won't be the same as it was this year. Hopefully, it'll be better, but it won't be the I don't know, just the same energy, I guess, of a new coach's first season and having new faces to see and that kind of stuff.
This was coach's trial run.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
His,
and I mean,
30-some games.
Talking about like percentages, like we were at one point we were on top of the conference, and then going into that last week of the season, we were like 3 or 4 in the conference, which was like you couldn't ask for more. Like from a fan's perspective, like we were doing as good as I thought we were going to do. And it was like literally all uphill from there. Like, I mean, yeah, you're gonna have slumps. It's baseball. That's kind of how the sport works. But like it was like me and Connor were like shaking certain games. We'd see y'all like do what you were doing, and like we're gonna be a problem in May. Like, like it's like this is gonna be unbelievable in Biloxi. And yeah.
No, we were so excited. We were really excited for conference too. That's what we didn't get to. Was like I think everything officially got like cut off on Thursday, the day before like our home opener for conference. So that was kind of like the hardest part for us, because we felt like conference was our best shot this year. We we had some tough matchups in our midweeks, but we really felt like we were going to go far in conference. Like there was no doubt that we were going to really tear that up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This got depressing really fast. So I know one of the big things that's going on right now, and I'm not sure how much you can comment on this, is the whole extra year of eligibility.
Yep.
So can you explain exactly how that's working, or how it would work, and then kind of your own opinion on that? Is that something that you would be interested in exercising? What's the feel like with the seniors on the team? What are they thinking? And just kind of players in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so basically the NCAA had a vote on it, and it was, I think, almost unanimous, if not unanimous, but to extend eligibility of everyone, like uniformly through.
And that's how it should be.
Yeah, which was really good, because if they just did seniors, it caused a lot of different problems. But so everyone has gained an extra year of eligibility.
Okay.
And then, so there are a couple like subsections of that. So any returning seniors will not count towards your scholarship limit. So baseball has the tightest scholarship limit of any sport. We get 11.7 scholarships to deal out among the entire, what is it, 30?
It's 27 travel. I think it is 30. It's like 30, 35, I think is what it is.
Yeah, it's like a 35-man roster limit. So you're splitting like if your whole team theoretically were on scholarship, everyone would have like a third of a scholarship. So it's really, really strict. And basically any returning seniors will not count towards that limit if they were already on scholarship. So
that's nice.
Yeah, it is. But the problem is that schools don't have that kind of money to pay a lot of them. Yeah. So the NCAA granted that in the event that a school can afford it, but a lot of schools can't. I think someone even mentioned that like A&M has already announced that they won't be giving returning seniors any money, even if they will.
Yeah, that's cheeks.
And it's unfortunate, because the way that money flows through universities, there's a lot of money in some places and there's not a lot in others. And it's not always as transferable as you would like for it to be. Like, I know when we built the race center, people were complaining about that, about how like, oh, the university can build this for athletics, but not that. It's separate funds. So when you get into stuff like specific sports, like then it gets even more tricky, and schools may have a hard time finding money. But eligibility is the important part to all of us. Getting that extra year, not being forced to move into the next phase of our lives unprepared, or that kind of thing, and getting kind of closure with our sport. And like if this year just ended, it could hurt some guys for the draft. So it's good that those guys get that year back, where they can actually have a complete year to get drafted. Like this year, the draft's going to be like 5 rounds or something.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
It's all shit.
So for some guys that might have had a chance, as the season developed, this is going to kind of give them an opportunity to have another shot at it. The unfortunate part is that a lot of guys have plans already, and basically the decision for a lot of people right now is figuring out how they're going to adjust those plans and if they can. As a senior, you have jobs lined up more often than not. You have things that you plan to do once you get out of college. Like we didn't renew our leases for our apartments because we didn't plan on living here next year. And so there are just a lot of moving parts that at least seniors on their own have to figure out. Most of the other guys won't really have any downside. Like if you're a sophomore and you got the extra year, like that's good. You probably won't deal with any like negative repercussions from it. But I know for the seniors, it's a little trickier because we're on like the brink of our next stage of life. Does that kind of answer what you were asking?
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely, it's like it's at first glance when you hear that they're granting the year of eligibility, it's like, oh, that's so awesome. But then hearing those things that go on, behind it, it's like, okay, this isn't as perfect as I guess we might have thought.
Sure. And so I think people are so critical nowadays that it's hard to find like a good answer to things. And I think that in this case, the NCAA did find the best answer. I don't think there's anything they could have possibly done within reason that would have been more beneficial for people. Like any of the issues that a senior might experience from this isn't the fault of the NCAA. And frankly, this whole situation to begin with isn't the fault of the NCAA. They don't have anything to do with the outbreak of a virus,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the responsibility falls on them to protect the people that they're supposed to be protecting and to help aid the people that they're kind of in charge of, that, they not rule over, but they do have a lot of influence on what athletes can and can't do. And so I think in light of that, they've made like a really, really good decision.
Yeah, it's definitely like one of the, I know there's a lot of like criticism of the NCAA, but it's definitely a good step that the NCAA took, especially like in terms of like their image. Like it's kind of showing like we're putting players first and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So I know I've heard your story, Palmer, about how it kind of went with Corona and how y'all found out. I know you said y'all were like in the middle of practice when like your coaches were getting calls and stuff like that. But for Justin, with being in the MLB and stuff like that, how did that work for y'all? And when did y'all find out? And how did that kind of timeline go for you?
So it probably started all happening the week. Like, how do I explain it? I remember there was just 1 week where we had one meeting about the whole thing. It was like 5 minutes, and then no joke, like 2 days later, we had an even longer one with like a slideshow and everything. More people were talking about it now. And then literally it was like 2 days after that. 2 days after that, next thing I knew, they were like shutting everything down. Like, can't go anywhere. Then we found out Barkley tested positive, or not tested positive, excuse me, got sick. And so we're like, what the hell? So then like they made us kind of like wait around because it was like almost right at the end of the 2-week threshold that they said that, like once the 14 days are up, you're good. But it was like we were almost right there at the end of it. So with us, it was like they were telling us we could leave, but we needed to stay till like Tuesday. And then we were like, okay, how come we can leave, but we have to stay till Tuesday? And then we found out it wasn't like just us. It was like other teams were being told this too. So like no one was really sure yet what MLB was going to do. Then when we found out it was all banged, we're like, okay, so now we need to get a final answer before we can leave or whatnot. And me and my wife are like, we're just going to leave and go home because we don't know how long this is going to be. And then obviously you keep finding something new out every day about it. At that point, this is like mid-March and you're finding new things out and they're like, okay, this is for sure going to be longer than what it is. So, I mean, it was a big mess. And then leading up to opening day, like that was what, last week now? No, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago was supposed to be opening day. And we're like, all right, so they got to make all these roster moves and everything now. They were making roster moves left and right. Guys were losing jobs. Guys have like these special incentives put in. Some guys have like these opt-outs or opt-ins during spring training and stuff. And it's like all these deals get messed up. So they have to figure all that crap out. And then from there, they had to figure out, okay, well, how are we going to somehow like make sure we take care of these guys and pay them? I mean, we figured it all out before opening day. Like my phone, like for the first like few days before opening day, was like nonstop blowing up with stuff. Like we were asking questions, trying to figure out what the hell was going on with everything. Talking to our union reps, and then talking to the guys over at the union too. So I mean, it was a lot of stuff going back and forth, like during the week of opening day, trying to figure out when we were getting paid, how we were getting paid, and whatnot. But it was pretty awesome. Like the union stepped in; they were giving us a stipend for the week, and then we got it all settled that the teams were going to give us this advancement payment to cover these 2 months, which is pretty awesome. We're very thankful for that.
Yeah.
Dang. So how does that change? So what do you are they having you do certain, like, in terms of training and conditioning while you're not over there? How does that work for you all?
Well, for me, I'm a little luckier, I think, because the facility that I work out in the off season is owned by a hospital. Well, since they're owned by the hospital, they send like physical therapy patients there to go get all their PT done, like broken bones, ACLs, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's mainly just a lot of older people, because Tomball's an older community where the city they work out in, and there's a lot of older people that go in there and work out. So they're only coming in like once or twice a week and whatnot. So all I had to do was make sure I got a script so I could go over there and work out, and that wasn't going to be a hard deal to get for me. So they just got me a script, and then I'm able to go there, get any type of treatment I need, and able to work out and throw still. So like I'm still in that aspect, I'm very fortunate, because there are guys on my team who can't even do that right now. They're struggling to like lift weights and whatnot. But I would say the biggest thing we're all most focused on is like pitchers and just playing catch. That's it. There's a lot of guys that I've talked to that are just moving their arms and playing catch is their biggest priority right now, and just I guess worry about the rest of it when it all comes.
Keep them warm, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's great.
I know, Austin, you had mentioned something about the Arizona thing.
Yeah, so I don't really know like the full story behind it. I didn't look into it too much, but I saw something that the seasons could start again in May. They're talking about it, and everyone's playing in Arizona.
Yeah, I mean, I've already told a few people about it. I mean, the way I view that is it gives what you just did, kind of like just give people something to talk about, give people out there more discussion, talk about any type of sport they can. I mean, I know they've talked to a few people about it, but it's like they're talking about separating guys' families for 4.5 months. Talk about like certain things we got to do to leave. Like they're talking about like putting us on the resorts out there. It's like, yeah, I guess that sounds sick, but you're gonna go there, go to the resort, and go home and go back. Like you want to be able to leave and go do stuff. You're not gonna be able to do that. But then also heard today that your wife and your kids are actually considered like with you, so they'll be able to be with you. But then it's like all these dudes have like 4 or 5-year-old kids or whatever. You need to go with those kids outside, go run around or do something. They're not going to be the one to do that. You can't just go to the pool every day and something like that. So I mean, there's still so much talk that's got to go on and get figured out. I mean, I've told people the NBA's got to move first before the rest of us move, just because they're just going to skip the rest of their season and play playoffs. So I mean, we're just all waiting for NBA to move, I think, and then we'll follow suit.
Yeah.
So do you think this season's going to happen in some capacity?
Yes, I think it's going to be chaos, but I do think there's going to be a season.
Yeah, there'll be a big old asterisk on the World Series winner, but it'll happen.
It'll be weird. That's one of the weird things it'll be about. It's like, well, how do you're going to have a champion, but it's going to be like it's going to be anywhere from maybe like 60 to 140 games. Like that's I mean, obviously 162 is not going to happen now.
Yeah.
So our threat. I think
you
our
have to
biggest
have like a
number is
doubleheader
like
every afternoon for that.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things. We're talking about doubleheaders. I mean, I don't know if we're going to do 9-inning doubleheaders. I mean, I've already said I'm all for 2-inning, or not 2-inning, but 2 7-inning doubleheaders. Those would be great.
Mm-hmm.
That way it's just quick and they still count. So
yeah,
I'm all for playing as many as we can. Play as much as we can will be fun.
Yeah, just let us watch something.
I know. So with Joe and like the guys that we all hang out with, we pretty much like only talk sports. And Joe has his show too that he does, and it's pretty much just sports. And it's like right now it's just such a weird time because it's just like there's nothing to talk about besides just kind of hearsay and sort of how things are happening. But it's very boring. ESPN brought the Ocho back. Like it's just it's a weird time. I guess so. The last major thing I'll ask you about is the whole name, image, likeness thing. I know it's a very big thing in the NCAA in terms of how with paying players. Palmer, if you could kind of, I guess, just explain how that works and maybe your thoughts about that, and Justin, what you thought about when you were in college and maybe stuff that you couldn't say then, but you can say now about it?
Yeah, so basically with name, image, likeness, we're just not able to. I mean, you've been in some of the meetings that I've been in, but we're just not able to profit off of like anything related to us, and we're not allowed to endorse anything. We're not basically we just can't make any money or any endorsements with anyone. I guess like anything professional. Like you could probably endorse something that's non-monetary, but I think it's dumb. Like I agree that it's like kind of stupid that we can't say certain things. Like I don't have the freedom to say that I like a restaurant, just even like non. I don't know, just I guess non-monetarily, just saying like I enjoy eating at some restaurant. Like we can't even do that in a a qualified setting. And so that's kind of frustrating. But at the same time, when you sit in on the meetings, you understand why it's such a complex decision, because then it kind of funnels into the whole pay to play scenario. And that's also connected to, recruitment. If you can make money endorsing something, what's going to stop certain companies from offering like a potential recruit money for endorsing their company once they commit somewhere? So there's just so many. Like I understand why it's a complex decision for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like going to those meetings before. Like I heard the phrase name, image, likeness, and kind of got, I guess, the gist of it. But when they were like explaining everything about it and like this is why this can't happen because of this and this, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's so much that goes into it.
Yeah.
And then like last time, like just for the show, we were interviewing Jacob Germany from the basketball team, and Austin had asked him, because Austin's tall, and he's like, hey, like I'm tall, I have trouble finding jeans that fit. Where do you get your jeans? And like he said, oh, I get them from this website, but we had to edit it out because he can't even say that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So there's definitely things that make sense in terms of like, okay, well, you're gonna get a monetary payment from saying it, but there's also things that's like you're not getting anything from that. You should be able to say what you want. But
yeah, I would think.
Justin, how did that work when you were in college? Is it pretty much the same as it is now?
Yeah, I don't even know what name, image, likeness was.
Yeah.
Didn't have a clue. I mean, the whole idea behind like college athletes getting paid, it's going to be football driven. It's always going to be football driven. That's just college how it is, But
Yeah.
it would be based off them, and I mean, their jerseys are going to sell. It's like, why can't other jerseys sell or whatever? It's not like, obviously other sports won't have a biggest sale of it, but that's fine. It's not that. It's just the idea that people want to support, that sport in that aspect, or they want to have this jersey from that sport or XYZ, whatever it is. But I 100% think if they want to, it needs to be fixed. I don't have a ton of knowledge on it, but I do think it'll be a point in time when we're all alive that college athletes are going to get paid one way or another.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know they for sure are right now. Everything's under the table. No one's going to talk about it. But I mean, one day it'll happen. I'm here all for it. I believe everyone should get paid somewhat. I mean, they always talk about the stipends. I mean, those stipends, then those stipends cover our rent. Those stipends cover all our Wi-Fi, all our utilities and stuff. So it's all those little things that it ends up adding up to.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you next thing you know, you're gonna have any type of career-ending thing that you'll never be able to do this the same way that you did before. And then it's like that's the one thing you maybe you've been banking on. Now you have to really try and change something up. And people, I mean, you're gonna hear the backlash of it, but that's just gonna be people backlashing because they got nothing else to bitch about, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So Justin, you coming out of college, you were drafted by the Angels, but you kind of went through the minors going up to it,
Mm-hmm.
and that. So with your journey and having done what you've done and being where you are, what's a message that you have for current UTSA players, current players in general about the work and stuff that you need to put in and getting to where you are?
For me, it was always, and it still is, like, don't let someone tell you that you're not going to play. Like, the way I keep saying it now, it's like I'm going to keep playing as long as I can, no matter what. I'm not going to let some fat guy tell me that I can't keep playing, That's pretty much that's literally how I view it. Like, I'm not going to let somebody who doesn't do what I do tell me I can't play this game, I'm going to continue to play this game as long as I can, have as much fun as I can with it, and hopefully retire at an age where I can be able to look back and be like, I did it the way I wanted to do it. I'm happy. My family's happy. Now I can enjoy the rest of my time with them. That's like big that's the big dream of it for me. So I would like to pass it on too.
Half the battle, isn't it?
That is half the battle. The bigger part of the battle is staying. Staying is tougher than getting there. I will say that staying is going to be tougher than getting there.
Yeah, because there's always a fresh crop of speedy-armed 18-year-olds coming out every year, right?
Coming out of the DR all the time,
man. Okay, so this will be the last question for the show. Your verifications on Twitter and Instagram, how and when did that happen? And what did it feel like to get that little blue check right next to your name?
If anything, I would say if anything on Instagram, it just helps you get free stuff every now and then. That's about it. On Twitter, I can't remember how I got it on Twitter, but on Twitter, I was like, all right. No, I know that, but I'm saying like I didn't know like when I got it then, because a lot of us got it when we were in the minor leagues. Oh, okay. And we were like, what the heck? How are some of these guys getting verified? Next thing you know, this dude just started verifying people.
Yeah.
I'm wondering this. Do you turn like your like social media handles over to like the team publicist?
What? No.
No? You don't give them any of that stuff?
Not at all.
I was wondering, because it might be like the team's publicist that does it for you and it just happens, you know what I mean?
Oh no, you submit an application through Twitter to be verified.
Yeah.
I've tried. Doesn't work like that.
Well, but you have to. I forget what it is, but you have to.
I have 2,000 followers, Palmer.
Influence, and I know you do. Public influence. Trust me, this is like my sole reason to get drafted is I can get the blue check mark. Like that's everyone knows that. That's every minor league player's dream.
There was a lot of us that we just got. Well, there was a bunch of us I remember that got it all when we were in the minors though too. I mean, our PR guys will take care of stuff like that if you need to get verified or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, as far as publicists go, like you don't got a publicist until you got like 35 in the bank or whatever. That's for sure.
Joe, let's get drafted so we can get the check mark.
Yeah, let's get drafted.
All right, so that's we'll leave on that. Our plan now is to get drafted. Well, Palmer and Justin, I don't know how this would work, but y'all got to start teaching us how to be good. Get us where you are so we can get drafted. All right, this has been a great episode. Thank you guys for coming on. I know, Justin, you're in Houston. Palmer, where are you? Are you in Dallas?
I'm in my apartment right now.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, I'm in San Antonio.
Okay. But yeah, thank you guys for joining. I was telling Joe and them that I had like a mini heart attack in the shower because I was taking a shower and I was thinking about like the show and what I was gonna ask and stuff, and then like it hit me and I was like, wait, he plays for the Angels. Is he in LA right now? And I was like, I told him 5 o'clock. We're in different time zones, and I had this little mini heart attack.
You weren't the first person. People still like, wait, are you in LA? I'm like, no, I'm home, guys. I'm not going to LA right now.
Yeah, so I was definitely like, oh my God, I got to figure that out. But anyway, thank you. This has been, I don't know what episode this is of the Bird Podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at the Bird Podcast. For the past few days, we've had a under construction thing. So we're going to be, I guess, either tonight or tomorrow, we're going to post our new logo and then like have info with how we can get to Meet Meep Nation. Go ahead and check out meetmeepnation.com. You can find all of our episodes, all of our blogs and stuff like that. I guess we can go ahead and give all of our Twitter @s and get some followers. I'm JoeFred98. Joe.
Taco Joe _
Austin.
Austin Kid 2000.
Palmer.
Palmer Wenzel.
Justin Anderson _22 or J Anderson _22 is what it is.
Perfect. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being on.
All right, Justin. I can't wait to see my jersey in the mail. Right.
I was just thinking about that. I was like, all right, I need to get a Justin Anderson jersey now. I'm gonna put the order in. All right, thank y'all.
Do it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.